everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new to my craft room, then welcome. Today I am working on some of these Dollar Tree decor signs that they have pretty much in with all the other holiday crafting stuff for fall. I picked up this sign here, it's just this little round circle here. It has a welcome on it. I removed this. It took a little bit to get that off, but it wasn't too bad. I used my little heat gun here. You could use a hair dryer. All I did was I turned this on here and I'm not going to run it here because it's noisy in the camera. And I just held it there until I could get this little tool here. You get these at Dollar Tree. They have these for like the Cricut machines or whatever. This little like spatula looking thing. And I just held up the heat there until it started to lift up. This one I did crack a little bit. I had to glue it. See my boo-boo. But I think if I paint over that, it's going to be fine. I'm not going to see it. But anyway, and then I just went along and just held it there and just kind of gently, you can't pull on it. You just wait for this to release the glue, and none of this had glue in the center. It just had it on the ends here. So it did come off fairly easy. It just takes a little time. You just got to have patience and don't try to pull it up because it will break like I did mine. But anyway, have that. I am going to paint this with this Waverly plaster colored chalk paint. I think that'll brighten that up real pretty. So I got that off of there. Now this one we are going to use some decoupage. We're going to iron on a napkin. I found this really pretty big napkin here that has this, the whole thing is a print. Excuse me. Now I don't know where I got this exact napkin from because a lot of napkins have been sent to me over the years. And I picked them up at different grocery stores and places. Well, I used to love the Christmas tree shop for napkins until they went out of business around here. But we're going to put that one on this one. And then also this napkin here I'm going to use on this other one here. I'll show you here in a second. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But anyway, I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to give this 2 coats of the plaster colored chalk paint. And then for this one here, I thought this one's real pretty. This one came with this pretty little bow. Again, I heated it up. I took it off because it's just going to make it so much easier to paint. I am going to put it back on when I'm done, so I think it's cute. But I took that off of there and then kind of just scraped the paint off that was on here. A little heat, little scraping. And that came off. And then we're going to take both of these. Let me get this tag off of here quick. There we go. I'm going to take both of these little jute strings off of here because I don't like when they hang this way because they kind of turn sideways. Oh, that came off real easy. So I'm going to actually loop them through a different way when we're done here. So anyway, I'll take that all off so we have these bare things. My phone's dinging at me. And I'll look at that in a minute. Now this whole thing here, I am going to give that, I'm just going to give it 1 coat of this plaster color paint because it's like a creamy, almost a creamy white color. And the lighter your background, I could do a white, but I don't think I want to do a snow white on the background because these napkins are kind of have a yellowish background. But it actually, when you put your napkins on there, it really brings out the color of the print on the napkin instead of just the wood color. Now for this one, I'm going to go around the edge of this one. I'm going to paint this one in this, this is just, use whatever paint you have. I'm using different, I'm using chalk, acrylic, whatever I have here. This is called Classic Caramel. So I thought that would be a nice color for around the edges. And then the little stem here, I am going to use this burnt umber color. And this is Folk Art acrylic paint. The other one was Apple Barrel. Like I said, whatever you have. Then I have a little bit of this orange. I don't know if I want to mix a little of that in with this. I don't know. We're going to see as we paint it here if I like that or not. But that's what I'm going to do with this. And then on this, I'm going to put the... let me get my brush out because it's going to get confusing. I keep telling different colors. So anyway, this top piece I'm going to paint with the plaster because this is going to get a napkin decoupaged on here too. So the outside is just going to be painted. Like I said, I'm going to do it with this, I do have a bowl here. Thank goodness. Usually I go to reach for a bowl that has paint in it. All right, let's get a different one that does not have any paint in it. And I'm going to put some of this caramel in here. And that is going to just be the border of this thing. I'm just going to take one of my handy dandy Dollar Tree brushes. I just washed these, they're a little stiff. There we go. So all the outside of this is going to be painted this really pretty caramel. I think that's a great color for like a fall leaf here. And I'm just going to go around this whole thing. They have these nice like burnt edges because they're laser cut. So they're kind of already colored. But this is going to be the color out here. So we're going to paint this whole thing all the way around in this caramel. That's a really pretty caramel color. And I think I just need one coat. I don't think you're going to need any more than that. So we're going to do that in that color. Because I'm going to paint this off camera because this is going to take me a little bit and you guys don't need to watch me do the whole thing. Now for this part I'm going to use a bigger brush. And like I said, the stems I'm going to leave because I want to paint those with that burnt umber. But see how nice and bright that brightens, or how that brightens that up nicely. So when you put the napkin on there, it's going to really show your print a lot better, you know, than it being dark. That's the only reason I do this. You don't have to do this, but see what I mean? It's going to take me a little bit to get around here without making a mess. So anyway, that's the colors I'm painting that. And then like I said, the stem is going to be painted in this burnt umber. I hope I have this mixed up enough. This one was really thick. But let's see if we can get a little bit out here just to show you what the color is going to look like. Yeah, this stuff, so I'm going to have to add a little water to this, I believe, because it's really, really thick. But anyway, this will be the stem color. So we're just going to go like right about in here and just kind of make our stem and then paint that a nice dark brown just to give it a little contrast so it's just not all the same color, so you can tell what the stem is and all that. And that's like, again, it's just going to need one coat. I don't mind if I see a little bit of the wood grain through here. I mean, if you want to cover it really, really good, do 2 coats, but I kind of like seeing a little bit of wood grain. So that is going to be that. That's where that glue was. It's not taking the paint too good. And then same thing with this little stem here, this little stem on this one. Get that out of my way. Yeah, I gotta thin this out because this is really, really thick. I haven't used that in a long time, that's burnt umber color, so they do tend to thicken up on you. But we're just gonna make this that color, this little stem. I meant to put another piece of paper underneath my painting here so I didn't get it all on my table. But anyway, that's what those colors are going to be. Now this one here, this whole thing is just going to get a coat of the plaster color like we're doing on the top of this leaf to show off our napkin. And once I get these all painted up, then I will come back and show you the next step. Alright, these are all dry. I just put a coat on here of the white, of the, well, plaster rather. And on here, and then I finished painting it. I love how I can still see the wood grain. So I'm not going to use any of that orange paint. I was thinking I was going to add some orange, but I'm not because I really like the way you can see the wood grain on there. And then I painted those with that dark brown. Just set that one aside for now. Now what I did was I put 2 coats. I just put nothing special. You just dump on a little Mod Podge, just paint it on, and just make sure when you put it on that you really, really, really go around the edges really good with the Mod Podge. So I just put a coat on here, I let it dry. I figured I'd get that done here because that takes a long time for this, well, not a long time, but quite a bit for it to dry, and you want it to be nice and dry when you're doing this. So I put 2 coats of Mod Podge. You can use the gloss, you can use the matte, it really doesn't make any difference. And now I'm going to take my napkin here. I'm going to use this one here. Like I said, I'm not sure where I got them. But just, if you want to find great napkins, just go on. I don't even have the card here. But there goes the fire alarm again. It's just crazy today. There's always accidents. There's something going on. But anyway, you can find beautiful napkins on decoupagenapkins.com. I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I just love that website. You can pick from 1 to how many napkins you want to buy, and I think they're like 90 cents, 80 some cents, it depends, a piece. Shipping's not bad, and it came really quick. So I love that website. They have all kinds of stuff, not just napkins. They have some other things too if you want to check them out. But anyway, yeah, because like I said, I don't remember where all these napkins came from. Some of these I've had for years. So let's see. I definitely want that in here. So I'm just going to set this down here like so. Try to get it so that's on the top. I'm just going to draw a circle on the outside of this. And I had a pen that just, there it is, disappeared. Because I'm going to leave a little, oh, come on, pen. Will it work or not? There it goes. I want to have just a little bit more, so it just hangs over a little bit. So you have a little extra to work with just in case you need to reposition it a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of just draw a circle around here somewhat. Then just cut that out with your scissors. I'm throwing stuff all over the place. It doesn't have to be anything special. Like I said, this way you have a little bit of extra to play with, and we're just going to trim the ends off, which is really easy. I'll show you how to do that when we're done. And you're going to need an iron to iron this on. I'll show you my little bitty iron that I got from Amazon. I'll try to link it below if I can remember. If not, it's in my Amazon shop. I'm pretty sure if you want to look that up underneath in the description box. Most of the stuff that I use, I like to put in my Amazon shop so you guys can find it. Alright, so now what we need to do is take off all the extra layers of napkin. Hopefully that's going to be easy. I think this is a 3-ply, so alright, let's get this one off of here. And I always save these over here, so in case I have a mess to clean up. Let's see, is that going to come apart, or is that just it? Maybe it's only a 2-ply. It doesn't seem to want to come apart anymore. This may... No, it really looks like there's another layer here. I don't know, maybe not. I usually just wet my fingers a little bit, and it usually pulls right apart. So I think that's it. I think this was just a 2, I hope. Because it does not. Let me give a piece of this one that I tossed aside here so I can rip that apart and just make sure I'm not missing a layer here. Nope, I think that's it. It's just very... Now there might be another layer on there. This thing's really confusing me here. And that's just 1 ply. No, I think that's it. Because I don't have the package for these or anything, so I really can't. Nope, that is just a 2-ply napkin. It's just very thick. Okay, that's fine. And then you're going to need some parchment paper. You can get this at Dollar Tree. We're going to use this to go in between our napkin and our iron. So now you are going to take your little piece here that's all nice and dry. You can see the hole through there. You don't have to worry about that. We will poke that out later. So let's see. Does that look... I think that looks pretty good right there. I do. I think. Let me hold it up. Once you iron it on there, it's too late. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. So now, try to flatten this out as much as I can with the wrinkles. Put our parchment paper over top. I have my iron back here heating up. And then you can kind of smooth that out a little bit too. This is that little iron I'm talking about. So much handy. I mean, you can use a regular iron. You don't have to have a small iron like this, but this thing comes in really handy. But now you are just going to go over this and make sure you get it along the edges really good. And that will loosen up. I'm hoping I get these wrinkles out of here right. The ones that were in the napkin. It just softens up the Mod Podge and it just comes up through the napkin a little bit. But I just want to make sure I get all around those edges really good. Yep, that's nice and warm. And I'm hoping all those wrinkles came out. Ooh, pretty good, pretty good. All around the edge. That's why you want to make sure you get a good amount of Mod Podge on the edge. And I overdo this, I think. I don't think you have to go over it this many times. But I always go around it a few times just to make sure it's all nice and smoothed out and all of our Mod Podge came up. Alright, let's take a peek Oh yes, looks good. All right, let me get this up. It's very hot, so you want to let this sit and cool. Look how nice that is. There's no wrinkles, there's no anything. And then we'll poke that hole out later, and then I'll show you how to clean up these edges. All right, I love that, so pretty. So let's set that aside till it cools down, because it's very, very hot. Very, very hot. Let me move this iron out of my way too before I get myself. All right, same thing for this. We're going to figure out the size we want here. This one's a little more difficult to cut out, but I don't want it too much over the edges here. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit harder to do because, number one, I can't see a thing. All right, let's try to get this one apart first. I'm going to rip this edge here. Some of these, especially on the edges, are very difficult to get apart because they have them pressed in there so well. There we go. This one's a 2-ply too. This one I know is because I've used this napkin before. And again, I don't remember where I got it from. It could have been a Christmas tree shop. It could have been any store that I'm in. Tuesday morning, I missed that store. They're all gone from around here. I don't know if there's any where any of you guys are, but they all closed down. All right, let's see. Which way do I want these to go? I think this way. All right, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this one. I may just have to go around here as I go and try to cut some of this out, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it. So I'm just going to cut the majority of it off here. And, you know, I can cut a lot of it off afterwards, too. So it really doesn't matter which way you want to do it. But this one's a little bit harder because we're working on a piece on the inside. So I'm just going to get some of that out of my way. Nope, I don't want to cut too much there. Oh, all right, we're good. I can't feel, there it is. I can't feel the leaf in there. There we go. All right, so I got some of that out of my way. Just so it's a little bit easier to work with, just a tad. Some of this can come out of here too. There we go. Now, where my stem is, I want to actually get that piece torn out. So I'm going to see if I can tear that. I don't want to cut it. I don't want any napkin on my stem because I don't want the stick on there. So there we go. So just tear that out of there. If you get a little on there, you can probably just sand it off in the end, but it's easier to get it out of there now. A little too much, we can move it up. There we go. Well, I hear a little pea out there screaming. Somebody must be up because they opened the door and now it's loud. I'm going to kill whoever opened that door. All right, now same thing. We're going to take our parchment paper here and our iron, and we're just going to go over that. I really can't even feel where that ends there. No, that's way up there. I better keep going here. Like I said, I overdo, but you know what? I want to make sure it's stuck. It's not going to hurt it if you sit here and iron it for a bit. want to burn it or anything. Now this I have set on medium high. It's like not to the max heat. It's like right in between the max heat and the, what does the other one say? Doesn't say anything. Oh, wool and silk. This is in between the cotton and the wool and silk. Wool and silk, geez, setting. So it's kind of hot. But there you go. And let's set that aside there. And now we have that. It's good. So now I just have to let that cool down so I can go around here. I'm hoping just with a little nail file and get that off. And it's going to look really, really pretty. But that's what it looks like right this second. Can't see the bottom leaf yet. All right, let's grab our other one here. For this one, I'm just going to show you a little bit because this is very annoying and you're not going to want to listen to me sand the whole thing off. I usually just take a nail file. I wish I could find another one. Here we go. This one's not so bad. That one's been used a lot. And then you're just going to go around the edge here and you're just going to pull down like this. And see, that cuts it off to a perfect circle. But you don't want to go up too high, and you definitely do not push up because you might tear your napkin some. But you just keep pulling down just like that. And you're going to do that all the way around. And any little pieces that are left, you're just going to get them off of there. And it makes you a nice, perfect circle. So I'll finish sanding these off. Same thing with this one. This one's still a little bit hot. I really don't want to do too much of this one yet. But I'm just going to take a small nail file. I'm hoping these aren't going to color it. I don't know if I have any more of my brown ones. Wish I did. These are just little emery boards. And then these we're just going to go around the edge here and sand that off, and it'll pop right in. This is still a little warm. I don't want to do too much of this one yet. But anyway, I just want to give you an idea. So we're going to take this little emery board and then just sand like this around the edge, and it'll come right off. I wish I had my brown one. I don't want to put, I'm afraid this is going to leave a mark, but I don't think it will. But anyway, I just want to do one little spot here just to show you, and then when this cools, I'll finish the rest of it. There we go. See, that'll take all your edge off of here. It's going to need to go just around your edge like so. Okay, and then that will peel all of our napkin off. It's really easy. It sounds kind of complicated doing it like this, but it's really not. If you just use this emery board to go around the edge like that, wherever you go, just sand that up like that, and it pulls your napkin right off of there. Like so. And then we'll just keep going around here until we get our whole leaf cut out. Very, very simple. All right, I'm going to let that finish cooling because I don't want to mess it up. It's still pretty warm. But I am going to go ahead and finish this one. I'll get all the excess off of here, and then we will come back, put this together, put our words on there, and they're going to be so cute. All right, I got all those edges off of there. It looks so nice. I love it. Now you can put a protective coating on here if you want. I'm not going to because mine are just going to be in the house. But if you wanted to use like this outside on a wreath or something, which would look beautiful, you could always coat this with, what do I have here? We got all kinds of stuff. This is the polyurethane ultra matte varnish. This is the Deco Art Duraclear. They have this in matte, they have it in satin, I think they have it in gloss too. This is really nice. Doesn't smell really bad too. That's why I like this stuff. Or you could use, Dollar Tree has this all the time now, or most, I should say. Our Dollar Tree does, because I know everybody's isn't the same. But you can get this stuff like at Walmart, Michael's. But this is the dishwasher safe Mod Podge, so that's good if, if it's going to be around anything that's going to get wet. But I'm just leaving mine as is. Like I said, they're just going to be in the house here as a nice little decoration. Alright, so now I need to poke my hole back into this one. And I made some changes here. I changed my mind up as I was going. I'm just taking this little embossing tool or whatever you have that can just poke through that napkin to get your hole back. That's it. And then I cut a different piece of jute string because I want it a little bit longer because I want to put it through doubled So that way, hopefully it'll go through. Yes, it will. That way when you hang it, it'll hang nice and straight. I hate when they just tie the string right through there. But now when you put your loop in, it'll be hanging nice and forward for you. There we go. And, you know, and then just go up here, and however long you want it. That's what's great. I always make it a little bit longer than I think I want it. I'm not going to want this too long. Just enough to hang it. So you just tie a nice knot in it, cut that off, and there you go. You have yourself a nice hanger. All right. Now, I want to put that little bow back on here. No, that bow goes back on here. I'm getting confused already. So the word that I took off of this, remember the round thing? I took off that big welcome sign, and I painted it with that plaster color. I took a marker and I went all the way around it to make these little dashes, just to kind of make it stand out a little more. And then I decided I don't want to use this on here because it just takes up too much space. I didn't want it right in the center of the image. So I went back into my little bag of words here. They have these every year at Dollar Tree. They have the Hello Fall, Farm Fresh. I don't know if I went over this already. I can't remember. The Give Thanks. It all comes in a little bag in the craft section of the fall stuff. That's where I got the Hello Autumn one from. So I pulled out the one that just says Blessed. And I painted it with that burnt orange that I was going to use and changed my mind. So I changed my mind again, just gave it one coat of the burnt orange. And I think this is going to look so much better on here. So that is where that is going to go. I want to get this on here, and then I'll figure out how I can put my bow on here nice. Now, let me kind of just hold this up here. I honestly think that's good right there. So let's see if I can do this. I get a little hot glue here. Get this to stay in place for me. And then, not too much, get out of there. I'm just going to do each side. I'm going to put a little bead of hot glue because you don't need much. I mean, it doesn't take much to hold these. They're very light wood pieces, so see, even that's a little too much. It wants to squish out, but we'll get that out of there. These little tools come in handy for all kinds of stuff. I use these embossing tools to make dots when I do my letters sometimes, things like that too. But these things, they come in very handy for all kinds of things. I hardly ever use them for what they're intended for. All right, so there we have our word on there. I think that looks so much better. All right, just me. And I'm not going to put any dots on it. Now, the one I did for this one here, I'll finish getting that other stuff on there in a minute. The Hello Autumn, I actually went around with this little, it's the really fine point Sharpie. Real fine point. A lot of times you can find these at Dollar Tree. I think that's where I've been getting all of these lately. But anyway, I just went around and made it look like little stitch marks or something, just to make it pop a little bit more. It just kind of fell a little flat. And that is going right here in the center of this leaf, like so. And again, it's not going to take much to hold this on here. So don't even overthink the glue stuff here, because it's really not. I'm going to try to do this all in one shot. Let's give it a try. There we go. I don't want to push that down too much, because if it oozes out of a napkin and I try to get it off, I will probably end up ripping it. Well, that's pretty close. Let me see if I can get this little dot of glue out of here without making a disaster. Oh, I think I did. I mean, I think I got it out. I didn't make a disaster. I need a finer point. Alright, I'll get that out of there afterwards. I know I have a tinier one than this. Where are you? Is this it? Oh, yeah. Get that out of there before it gets too hardened. There we go. Look at that. I got it out without ripping my napkin. Yay! Okay, so there is our Hello Autumn on our leaf. I think that looks so pretty. So I needed a darker one for this, and I needed a lighter one for this, so it all worked out just fine. All right, for this one, I'm just putting back on this bow that was on there when I got it. And I'm not going to use near as much glue as they did. Man, they had that thing glued on here. Like, I don't know what they thought was going to happen. But they had so much glue on that little bow. Alright, I'm going to take my other piece of my, where's the other piece I cut out for this? Here it is. For a hanger, and I still got to do my bow for the other one. And, alright, I just want to show you how I'm going to make my little jute bow for that guy there. And then we will be done with these projects. Alright, so there is our pretty hanging leaf. I love it. Like I said, you could add these to anything. You could add these in like little centerpiece things you're making. I don't know how you would add these when it's this one. Or you could use it on a wreath. You could just add it to whatever, like a grouping of things you have like out on a shelf to decorate. They would look just so pretty. Alright, there. That should do that for this one. And that one is finished. Like I said, you want to add the top coat by all means if you have it somewhere and you think you're going to need it. And my advice is if you're going to make one of these for outside, I would buy two and glue them together because they're really thin. And I think they would probably warp. But I would just get another one and just glue it together with some wood glue, Dollar Tree's super glue wood glue, and you're good to go because I've done that with a lot of things for outside. Alright, so for my bow, I took 3 strands of this jute string. This jute string I've been using here now, this is from Dollar Tree. So I took 3 strands, probably about 12 inches long. I'm just going to make a simple bow, nothing spectacular. I always just, let me do it slower here because then everybody will ask me. I just make a loop and then just wrap it around my thumb and then just pull it through there like so. And there you go. And everything always ends up facing the right direction for you if you do it that way. So I don't need that quite that big. So I'm going to put this on here. I think I'm going to put it right on the, let's see, will that work? Because then I won't be able to move it. Yeah, well, I am just going to hook that right onto the jute string that's holding that on there. And yes, I am. And it won't take much because if you glue jute string to jute string, it'll hold like crazy. It's not going to go anywhere. I just want to make sure that lays straight. And then I'm going to cut off these little ends so they don't interfere with my pretty word there. There we go. Cut that end off. I got something hanging off of me by a glue web, and then we're going to cut this end off here, and we are done with this little project. So look how cute. I just made that one longer. I pulled on it. There we go. I might put another drop of glue back there just to keep this thing from coming apart. There we go. Sorry, I just banged right into you guys. But there. That is it. All done. How pretty is that? I love it. I think it came out so nice. So yeah, with just one of those plain old wood blanks, there you go. You have, and even if you can't find the one with the word, because like I said, that was a pain in the neck getting off, and I didn't use it anyway. So you're better off maybe just finding one of the plain round ones that they have at Dollar Tree. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed these little projects, and I will see you guys all next time. Have a great day, everyone.